Hi guys, welcome back to the channel और today we are going to do yet another video on PYQ series जो हमने अभी start की है recently. Last video का response काफी अच्छा आया तो we are moving on with this series और we are combating with the December 2024 PYQs questions and जैसे आपको पता ही है जब poetry है हमारा second unit है that is also a very crucial part of our NTA NET syllabus. whether it is British poetry, American poetry, Indian poetry और कोई भी तरह की poetry all across the globe. कभी कभी Japanese का भी पूछ लेते हैं, कभी और कोई पूछ लेते हैं, तो it is everywhere. तो हमारा current focus इस वीडियो में है British poetry का और so that is what we are going to do. So before starting on, this is for all those people who are preparing up for the upcoming NT-NET exam in June 2026. That is in 3-4 months basically. तो आपके लिए ये दो lines. This is from the poetry of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, from former Prime Minister. हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा. हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपात पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ. So whatever may come, you don't have to give up. Always try the hardest next time if you have failed the first time. So let's quickly start with the question. हमारा आज का फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है that we are going to deal is the chronological order जो कि NT-NET का बहुत ही famous topic है. So and the question is okay. Arrange the following questions in chronological the following poems in chronological order of the year of the publication. The Tiger, The Solitary Reaper, Adonai, The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and Ode to Autumn. So ये आपको 5 poems दी गई है, इसको आपने chronology में लगाना है. So कई बारी क्या होता है कि that we are not able to remember the exact dates of the work. ठीक है, बहुत सारे बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम आती है. I personally used to feel the same when I had to work for NET. इसका एक इजी वे आउट ये है कि अगर आपको डेट्स एग्जैक्ट याद नहीं रहती तो ट्राई टू रिमेम्बर द ऑथर्स. जैसे कि जो टाइगर पोएम है, इट वाज रिटन बाय ब्लेक, विलियम ब्लेक. And then Solitary Reaper, we all know it's written by Wordsworth. Adonai is by Shelley, P.B. Shelley, right? And Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is by Coleridge, whereas Ode to Autumn is by Keats. So most of the time you can see जो बाकी की 4 poems है, B to E, ये they are all written by the Romantic poets. राइट, रोमांटिक पोएट्स के द्वारा लिखी गई है. एंड जो एक पोएम है द टाइगर, इट इज रिटन बाय ब्लेक. सो वी ऑल नो दैट ब्लेक केम बिफोर द रोमांटिक्स. अगर आपको एग्जैक्ट डेट याद भी नहीं है तो भी अगर आप ऑप्शन देखो कि जिसमें ब्लेक की पोएट्री पहले है, दैट इज यहाँ पे ऑप्शन सी में ADBEC. इट इज द ऑप्शन जहां पे ब्लेक की पोएट्री पहली पुट अप की गई है. बाकी सब जगह पे इसमें एंड में है, इसमें लास्ट में है, इसमें सेकेंड में है, तो ऐसे नहीं है. इट इज ऑलवेज अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर. तो हमारा करेक्ट आंसर है ऑप्शन सी कि ब्लेक की जो पोएट्री है इट इज रिटन बिफोर द रोमांटिक्स. The Tiger came in 1794. The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner by Coleridge came in 1798. Solitary Reaper came in 1807. Ode to Autumn came in 1820 and Adonai came in 1821. So this is how it is to be done. Moving on with our next set of questions. Okay, so before moving on, there are the opening lines given for all the 5 poems that we have just talked. ये मैंने इसलिए डाला है क्योंकि आपको opening lines भी आजकल पूछने लगे हैं. Not आजकल, मतलब पहले भी आता था, but ये आजकल ये ज्यादा common हो गया है. तो you can take a screenshot of these opening lines और आपके लिए ये easy हो जाएगा, right? So The Tiger by Blake, Rhyme of Ancient Mariner by Coleridge, Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth, Autumn by Keats and Adonai by P.B. Shelley. और एक मुझे बात बताना कि जो Adonai है, P.B. Shelley ने किसी की मेमोरी में लिखा है. किसकी मेमोरी में लिखा है? जैसे I weep for Adonai, he is dead. Oh, weep for Adonai, though our tears thou not, a frost which binds so dear ahead. So who has Shelley has written, but for whom? It's a very interesting answer. एक romantic poet के लिए ही उसने ये लिखी थी. तो moving on with the next one. Okay, so here it is. The next question Identify the poet who composed the following lines. Lines क्या है? Ganga has sunken and the limp leaves waited for rain, while the black clouds gathered far distant over Himawant. The jungle crouched, hummed in silence. So these are lines basically from T.S. Eliot's most famous poetry, that is The Wasteland. अगर आपको एग्जैक्ट लाइंस नहीं भी पता है राइट और आपने फिर भी इसको क्रैक करने की या आपने कोशिश करनी है मैं एक गैस वर्क करूं तो श्री औरबिंदो ने ये नहीं लिखा है क्योंकि श्री औरबिंदो का स्टाइल बिल्कुल ही अलग है यहाँ पे इट इज वर्ड्स लाइक देखो संकन ब्लैक क्लाउड्स क्राउज्ड साइलेंस वेटेड ये सारे जो ऐसे वर्ड्स हैं या जो ऐसी वोकैबुलरी है दे आर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ मॉडर्न पोएट्री मॉडर्न पोइट्री के बेसिकली ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं कि सब जगह कुछ बहुत ही ज्यादा ब्लैक ही ब्लैक है ना कुछ इंसान जो है वो वेट ही करता जा रहा है वो कुछ अपनी तरफ से नहीं कर पा रहा है या कुछ बहुत ही ज्यादा बुरा है क्राउच्ड है साइलेंस है ऑल दीज थिंग्स दे आर अ पार्ट ऑफ मॉडर्न पोइट्री और यहाँ पे जो एक ही मॉडर्न पोइट है दैट इज टी एस एलियट वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट तो अगर आपने इनकी वेस्टलैंड नहीं पढ़ी है डू check it out. It is very important. So yeah, it is option B from T.S. Eliot's poem The Wasteland 1922. तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट है याद रखना भी 1922 बिकॉज मुझे याद है एक PYQs ऐसा भी आया था जिसमें उन्होंने बोला था कि कुछ ऐसी 5-6 पोएम्स का नाम लिख के बोला था कि ऐसी पोएम्स को टिक करो जो 1920s में लिखी गई हैं तो उसमें से एक वेस्टलैंड का भी ऑप्शन था सो दैट इज व्हाई यू नीड टू रिमेंबर ऑल दीज थिंग्स एक तरह से चेन बनाते जाओ तो आपको इजी हो जाता है रिमेंबर करना सो मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. So again, this is December 2024 poetry question, poetry of British section. Which of the following is an elegy on John Donne's wife who died in 1670? उसके लिए तो पहले आपको एक दो चीजें पता होनी चाहिए. First of all, तो what is an elegy? Elegy होती क्या है? Elegy is basically a poem that is written in a memory of somebody. ठीक है किसी की डेथ हो गई है somebody who is very close to your heart somebody whom you have loved dearly he or she has died तब उसकी ऑनर में उसकी मेमोरी में जो पोएम लिखी जाती है that is an elegy and John Donne throughout his life written a number of types of poetry उसने he started with metaphysical poetry right and he ended up writing religious poetry और उसमें in between he has written elegies also. So the one elegy that has been written by John Donne in the year 1617 after the death of his wife is sonnet, Holy Sonnet 17. Okay, the elegy on John Donne's wife who died in 1670 is found in Holy Sonnet 17 and this is the opening line of that sonnet. Since she whom I loved hath paid her last death, that means a debt, that means she has died. Holy Sonnet 17 is Donne's deeply personal elegy mourning the death of his wife Anne More. This was the name of his wife. The poem begins, since she whom I loved hath paid her last death to nature and to hers, and my good is dead. It reflects Donne's grief, his struggle with loss, and his attempt to reconcile personal sorrow with faith in God. And because of that, sorrow, the death of his wife, he found consolation, found console in God. He started writing religious poetry. बाकी की जो 3 poems थी, Death Be Not Proud, Thou Hast Made Me, At the Round Earth's Imagined Corner, these are also by Donne, but they are not elegies. Right, and these are the opening lines. You can read them and take the screenshot as well. Moving on with this particular question. So you can see four set are there. Which of the following is not correctly matched? कौन सा इसमें set है जो correctly match नहीं है? Seamus Heaney has written digging. Audre Lorde has written coal. Dom Moraes has written Kanheri Caves, and John Updike has written The Swan. These are all contemporary and postmodernist kind of writers. So their poetry has that kind of vibes and effects जिसमें everything is dark and gloomy, nothing makes sense, and the humanity has lost touch with people. Right. So the correct answer for this question is John Updike, The Swan. That means Seamus Heaney has written Digging, Audre Lorde has written Coal, Dom Moraes has written Kanheri Caves, but John Updike has not written The Swan. John Updike, The Swan. Updike wrote many poems like The Carpentered Hen, Telephone Poles, but Swan is not a recognized poem by him. He has not written this poem. बाकी की जो poems हैं they are जैसे श्रीमस हिनी की digging है it is in the opening poem of Death of a Naturalist in 1966. Audre Lorde Cole, it is the first published book in the collection Cole in 1976, and Kanheri Caves is published in Poetry magazine in 1959. It is a well-known poem by Moraes. So these are poet important. And one suggestion I would like to give, अगर आपको full text पढ़ने हैं, you can definitely go to this website. It is Poetry Foundation. यहाँ पे आपको जो मॉडर्न से मॉडर्न पोएट्स प्लस एंशियंट से एंशियंट पोएट्स की जो ओरिजिनल पोएट्री का टेक्स्ट है यू कैन गेट देम वेरी इजीली एंड यू कैन रीड देम एज वेल एंड दैट्स अ वेरी legit website. Okay, so that is all for today. Rest will continue tomorrow, so keep watching and please do subscribe and keep on working hard. PYQs plays very important role when it comes to NTA, and since आपका एक dignified एक bound syllabus नहीं है, but if you go through PYQs that can really help you a lot. So yeah.